Disney just released Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets. So let's discuss how it went for us as a family of three going last year for the first time. I'm going to tell a little bit about the general information. What is the party? How is Halloween at Disney? And then I'm going to go through 10 of the unique experiences that they put together for the party and what worked for us, what didn't, so you can make a decision for this year. So the dates, they're going to run from August 7th to October 31st this year. Most of the parties happen on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. But in October, they ramp it up, and I think there are parties Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, if I'm not mistaken. The party is officially from 7 p.m. to midnight, but you can enter the park at 4. So at 6 p.m., they close for regular guests, and the party actually starts. The lights, all the experiences are full blown at 7 p.m. First and last dates, so it ends on Halloween night. Those usually sell out faster, and rumor has it they're a little bit more crowded. They have more people on it. I'm not sure. Disney doesn't confirm, but that's the rumor. And they sell out because a lot of people in the industry want to go for the first party to create those guides and to help people booking trips. And then obviously, a lot of people want to spend Halloween night at Disney as well. The prices are $119 to $229 per ticket plus tax. They are non-transferable, non-refundable, and completely separate from any park tickets you might have. Even though they do not refund the tickets. It happened last year that some of the parties, it got rained on so badly that you couldn't experience part of it. So Disney did give out another park ticket day, but the party happens despite of the weather. Now, to buy tickets, you can go to My Disney Experience app and on May 5th if you're a hotel guest, or May 12th if you're other guests. Now that we covered a little bit of the basics, here is how it went for us last year as a first timer, family of three. So me, my husband, and my son, who was 9 years old at the time. We went in late September. The first thing that changes is park decor. You're going to see Mickey and Dumbo pumpkin wreaths in the post, purple lights, a little bit of fog. It was very cute, but to be super honest, they could be a little bit spookier. Even though it is for kids, I think I didn't see a lot of tiny kids. It was very late at night. So I think they could have done a little bit more on the decoration side, on the park decor. One exception was Haunted Mansion was very eerie, and they had live entertainment there, which was a complete surprise. So Haunted Mansion really did it up on Halloween, which is expected, I guess. The second thing that they do is provide wristbands, party guide, trick or treat bags. Those I love collecting as kind of free mementos or affordable souvenirs, let's put it that way. We don't usually buy a lot of souvenirs in the park. We just prefer to spend on the experience itself or going more. But those were good to collect. It was fun to see the party guide. Disney does such a great job of creating those physical items and that you can look back and kind of relive the experience a little bit. So, pro tip here, the trick or treat bag, you probably heard if you're researching about the party, is very small and they will give you more candy than you can fit in there. I did bring a Ziploc bag. I always do anyways for the park in case we get a lot of rain, but I did bring an extra one and we did fill it up. So just bring a few more bags if you're coming to the party. You can wear costumes. So Disney is very selective on the type of costumes you can wear during normal park days. Obviously, for a Halloween party, it's part of the fun to come in costumes. While saw a number of people that were dressed up to the nines, it was really fun to see. Most people were just in comfortable clothes because even though it was late September, like I said, it was still summer in Florida. Not a great thing to have very busy costumes all around all night long. The exception is my son did dress up all in Mandalorian costume. We did bring a change of clothes for him, just some normal shorts and shirt, and we did end up using it, it was a good pick me up for him when he was getting a little bit tired. Now, the fourth thing that they do for Halloween parties is do little dance parties and activities for little kids. That's usually in Tomorrowland. I think Frontierland might have a few things as well. We didn't participate much or even looked into it. Again, my son was 9 at a time. We just don't see the value on it. And we just focus on other activities, but it's there if your kid likes Vampirina or any other more Halloween character, they will have those out in the park. Now, one of the big things that people love doing is the special character meetups. They have Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. They also have Mickey and Minnie on their costumes. We are not a character family. We actually never done those meetups or stand in line to meet anybody. And I've heard that the lines start forming at 4 p.m. when they open for Halloween. So if it's something you want to do, just make sure you have 1 or 2 hours to stand in line and get that experience done. One cool thing that they did, again, we weren't expecting through the trick or treat lines, they had some of the characters pop in and out. So it was very much random, but we saw Donald in his pumpkin costume. We saw the evil queen through the line. So that was really a little bit of a sparkle in our day. Even though we weren't in line to see the characters, we took quick pictures and move along on trick or treating, which is number 6 on my list of things that special attractions that they put together is trick or treating. That was my son's favorite activity, and we spend a lot of time going through the lines. While they move very constantly, very efficiently, that was still very long. I wasn't expecting that long of lines for trick or treating since they have it so many different, you know, places in the park. Also, the treats were nothing really special. The treats were just normal mini chocolates or, candies that you get anywhere on Halloween. So I wasn't expecting a big line, but apparently people really love going through those and collecting. And my kid has severe food allergies, so he collected chips that then we went to specific locations and he got allergy-friendly options to pick and choose, and he could exchange those chips for those treats, which worked out so well. He got amazing, like he got a full bag of treats that he could eat safely, and he loved them, most of it. So we were very excited for that option. One of the things I was most excited about was number 7, ride overlays. So they change some of the rides with more spooky themes, let's put it that way. That was one of our priorities. We started the night going in through Tomorrowland. When you come into the tunnel, we went straight to Space Mountain to check the all dark Space Mountain overlay. Let me just say, it was not a great thing. I'm gonna save it for the pros and cons, but ride overlays, Haunted Mansion, like I said, had an overlay. The Mad Hatter the Teacups had an overlay. Space Mountain had an overlay, and I'm not sure if any other, but you can see on the website which rides are gonna get overlay and if you wanna stay in line or not. Number 8 is a special party menu. I am a sucker for cute food that looks like something else. I just think it's such an art form. It just makes it taste better, I guess. My family can't eat most of it. They're allergic to milk and eggs, so it was really hard to get treats at Disney, but I did find the Madame Leota candle. I think it's a cheesecake pop with white chocolate. It looked so incredible, and it was Haunted Mansion themed, which is one of my favorite Halloween rides. it turned out to be so delicious. I got 2 of those, and I highly recommend you pick and choose a few items at least for the party to experience. Just a quick tip here, the food, while they have plenty, sometimes some of those most famous items, they might run out through the night. So if it is a priority for you, just go and get it. They also stop serving, I want to say 11:30. They don't go all the way to midnight, or some locations. So definitely make a priority to go through between 7 and 10, let's put it that way, so you can make sure you get whatever you need and want. Like number 9, Disney puts on special photo ops, the magic shots throughout the park, and some special souvenirs. Magic shots, I was really into them for my family. And I love getting some of those photos with the villains, which I think they don't get a lot of airtime as much as they should. So we had fun going through and getting the photos with Isma and a lot of other villains as well. Now, the major draw, at least for us going into the first day, the first time ever, was the Boo to You parade, the fireworks and the shows. So fireworks is one of those things that I never really cared about. And then I just loved the first time we saw Fantasmic on Hollywood Studios. It just clicked for me. And now I'm such a big fan of the fireworks shows. And the Boo to You parade, the song just gets in your head. If you're starting to research and you're getting into the podcast and the planning and all of this, you're gonna hear the Boo to You parade song all the time, and it gets in your head. So it was very super fun to watch the spooky shows and fireworks. They do it. It's all in kind of reds, and the villains are front and center. So I highly recommend, if you are a villain fan like I am, to go in and check it out. It's definitely this one special time of the year that you can celebrate your favorite villain more so than any other time. The Puchu Parade, we got the whole show. We saw the Headless Horseman, and the floating ghosts dancing was also very special. I highly recommend it. This was one of, do not disappoint kind of activities that we did, and is worth, if you're really into the parades and really into the fireworks, is definitely worth it. Now, let's go through the good, the bad, and some of my final trip tips if you are going for the first time. So, what worked for us? We had to focus on our must do's. So, for us was fireworks and parade, the ride overlays, the trick or treat for my son, and some of the food items. Having the party food ahead of time. So some of the items in the menu, like the Dole Whip float, they are served in the park during the day. So we popped into Magic Kingdom. We're pass holders, so we didn't need a ticket for it, but you can go and get party food ahead of time. Even at 4 p.m. before the party actually starts, you can get some of that food if you're interested. What also worked for us was to have a really relaxing, resting day. And we didn't get to the party until 5 p.m. So we hit no lines. The majority of people do get there at 4 p.m. So we waited nothing to go in, and we didn't do much the whole day. We had a very slow morning because the party goes until midnight, and it goes. So you got to be rested for it. We stayed at a monorail resort, which I know is not cheap, but we selected to reduce our number of nights and stay super close so we can just go in and out. Once we were done with the party, in less than 15 minutes, we were literally walking to our room, which was very good. Same to go in. It didn't take more than 15 minutes to be at the park. So we stayed at the Grand Floridian. We got a really good rate in late September, and we attended a Friday night party. So highly recommend, even if the trade-off is you go for last nights, for this kind of party, I do think it worked really well for us. Haunted Mansion with live actors and this super eerie decor was 10 out of 10. If I had to pick one thing that surprised me the most, we weren't ready for it. There was nothing much special that they were advertising about it, but it was such a fun activity. And you get the magic shots with the ghost, the hitchhiking ghost, anyways, at the end. So it was fun, fun, fun. The magic shots with the villains, again, villains all night long. That if villains are your jam, you gotta go for it. And it also worked for us to ride the rides first that we wanted to and focus on the shows later. Prioritize what you got to do, and then the rest is just gonna have to take a back seat. Now, what didn't work for us? The party goes super fast. I didn't feel I did everything I wanted, and we didn't get all the shots that we really wanted to get. We didn't get the food that we wanted to get. And honestly, we rode, I want to say like 4 rides, 3 rides. Haunted Mansion, I think we did Dumbo. My son wanted to try Dumbo. So while very cute, the lines were super long, super long. It was very expensive on top of our annual passes. And I can only imagine if you're adding those to park tickets, I guess you can, replace, but just be aware that you're not gonna get the park. You can't just do Magic Kingdom that during that party. I think it would be very difficult if you want to ride more rides. And it's a very different experience than the normal park day. So it's in addition to everything else that you're gonna do on your vacation. Even in late September, it was very hot. We did not get any rain, any thunder, sticky hot, which is not ideal, especially if you have makeup or anything like that. Now, it was more crowded than I imagined. I knew it would be full, but it was busy, crowded, and I didn't love that. I really expected to be less crowded. All parties sold out last year before the party starts, but it felt really, really crowded. The lines were so long. We spent a lot of time on the trick or treat lines and in some of the ride overlays. We had to sit and wait for fireworks spots so early in advance. So for that, we ended up going for the Christmas party later last year, and it felt much less crowded. I don't know why, how, but that was one thing we felt that the party was too crowded. Now, I know they say it's for kids, but my kid was exhausted beyond fixing at 11 p.m. So I don't think it's as kid friendly as it seems or as they make up to be because it's so late at night. So just plan for it. He was not having the parade, like he just sat there and looked miserable. So I felt bad, but is just something that's going to happen with younger kids. Now, watching the last parade, like I said, my son was exhausted. We were very tired. They have the parade at 2 times, and I wish we had done the earlier, even though we probably would have missed some of the rides. It's just he wasn't having a good time. And then I wasn't having a good time, right? So that was one thing I wish we had done a little bit different. 6 Between 6 and 7 p.m., there's a little bit of a park turnover because they close for regular gas at 6, and the party and the food and the souvenirs and all of that jazz doesn't come online until 7 p.m. So between 6 and 7, it just looks a little bit odd. The park just looks a little bit odd, and there's no mobile orders. It's a little bit of a black box, but you can still ride the rides. You can still do things, but you don't have trick or treating. You don't have a lot of things that you would normally do. Now, is it worth it? Not not as a must do, and probably I would say if you can only go to one party, I would say for the Christmas party, to be really honest. We haven't been to Jollywood Nights, but I would say for the Mickey holiday party, Rides in trick or treat had huge lines, like I said. We didn't love the overlays except the Haunted Mansion, and it's very late at night for kids. The only thing we didn't do was to meet characters. So, if this is really on your top priority, like I said, villains, characters in costumes. So, by all means, yes, you gotta go and do it. It's the only way to do it otherwise. And Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party was overall much better experience in my opinion. Now, would I go back? And the answer is probably not. This year, the tickets already came out, and I'm still on the fence because I would probably go back for Halloween night. This is something we haven't experienced. I've heard that several of the other hotels have activities for kids. So I wanted to go on Halloween night for the vibes, but it's not a must for me, and I might not do this year. It's extremely expensive in October. The prices per person, it just gets super high, and I'm not sure for me if that's worth it. So here are my final thoughts. I hope this helps you enjoy the night if you're deciding to go, or if you are on the fence and can only pick one party. I will be doing this debrief for the Christmas party in a few weeks as well. So follow along, and welcome again to Guide to First Time. This season, we're talking all about Disney since we've been doing Disney for the whole year and have a lot of firsts to share with you. All right, I'll see you in the next episode.